So what we're going to do now is demonstrate .NET's built-in linked list class features. As I mentioned earlier, linked lists are very popular and it is part of a lot of different frameworks, including .NET. And so it's really good to get familiar with how it is built into it and what features it has. So we're going to walk through some of this code and point some out, but I want you to be able to get used to, if you haven't already been doing this as a developer, going to the definition of built-in classes. It's a great way to get familiar of how they leverage all their features. These are the individuals that design and enhance the C# language, so they know best how to use its capabilities. So it makes perfect sense to go in to see what methods, what classes they use. And they also have nice summaries that explain each of these classes. So I urge you to go through and see all these features that are available, not only when we're working with algorithms such as these, but also in your career and any type of features that you use within .NET. To come in here, jump in, and see what's behind the scenes. So we have a method here called demo linked list features. Let's go through these group of lines one by one. The first is just a series of words. It's a collection of words that we are going to create a linked list with and just display the values. And that's all that's happening on line 21. We have an array of words. On line 22, we have our linked list class definition that is a generic type, so we can put in any type in here. And in this particular case, it's a string. And on the right-hand side, you can see that the array of words is passed into its constructor. And now once we have that sentence, we can now call display and pass in the sentence as a parameter along with a description that says it's the linked list values. For the second group of lines, 26 and 27, all we're doing is adding the word today to the beginning of the linked list that was just created. And we do this by invoking add first. If I were to delete this and hit the period, you can see all our methods that we are able to invoke. Add first, add before, add last, clear, contains. So a lot of options we have there. Next, on line 33, essentially what we're doing is moving the first node to be the last. And to do that, we created our mark1, which we assigned the value of first, and then invoke the remove first and add last, passing in mark once, and finally displaying it. From 35 through 37, all we're doing is changing the last node to be a different value. And in this case, it's the word yesterday. And I'm going to execute all this, so you're going to see the results, but in the results, I also describe what happened. So it's going to make much more sense. I'd rather do that than have to execute this for each and every line that I'm explaining. Now on line 39 through 42, by assigning mark1 the appropriate value and then invoking remove last and add first and displaying the content. Now on line 45 through 47, which by the way, I should mention that I've numbered these tests so we can keep track of it in that fashion also. So this one is test number 5. And in test 5, all we're doing is indicating by using parentheses the last occurrence of the word the. So the last word the in our linked list will have parentheses around it. For test 6, we are adding the word lazy and old after the word the. And for the last two tests, for test 7, we are indicating actor as the node. And then lastly, we are adding quick and skinny before the word actor. And all these steps were able to be done by using the methods that are available built in within .NET, such as add before on line 57 and 56, add after on line 49 and 50, on line 45, removing first, and so forth. So I strongly urge you to look at these classes and see and get familiar with and all the other ones that are available that we might not have even used just by examining the class definitions of the linked list itself, which you can navigate to by clicking on Linked List and choosing Go to Definition. But for now, let's go ahead and execute this to see our output. I'll hit Control F5, and here's the results. Starting at the top, our original line is the actor jumped over the director. Then we added the word today. Today, the actor jumped over the director. Then we moved the first node to be the last. The actor jumped over the director today, and so forth with all these other changes that we talked through. So that is it. We created our own linked list and then demonstrated the linked list that's built into .NET. So linked lists come in a variety of forms, and this was a great way to get comfortable with it. Let's go ahead and turn our attention to some other algorithms, such as the stack.